This is Christian Gomez with the New American Magazine, and today's top headline is "Don't Trust the Polls," say numerous experienced political observers, written by Bob Adelman. On the eve of the 2016 presidential election, the New York Times reported that Hillary Clinton has an 85% chance to win. NBC News' last poll and a Monmouth poll showed Clinton ahead by 6 points. Final polls from CBS News, ABC, Washington Post, The Economist, YouGov, and even Fox News all had Clinton leading Trump by 4 points. The most generous polls for Trump came from Rasmussen, Bloomberg, and Reuters, all of which still showed Clinton ahead between 2 and 3 points. In fact, according to Reuters, they gave Hillary Clinton a 90% chance of winning. All of the prognosticators, pundits, and experts were proven wrong in what was probably the greatest upset election in our nation's history, as Hillary Clinton was seamlessly expected to be coronated chief executive. In what now appears as if they've learned their lesson, Bob Adelman reports, quote, "A number of prominent political commentators, not all from the right, are ignoring recent polls showing President Donald Trump losing, if the election were held today, to any number of the socialist Democrats currently vying for their party's nomination." One of these noted political commentators, who is by no means a conservative by any stretch of the imagination, is Piers Morgan, the liberal British host who was fired from CNN in 2014 over his dismal ratings, as Adelman points out in his article. In Britain's Daily Mail newspaper, Morgan writes that, quote, "By any normal yardstick, the president is headed for a defeat in the 2020 election. However, as Adelman states, these are hardly normal times. According to Morgan's article in the Daily Mail, quote, "Everyone seems to forget that Trump won with just 46.1% of the national vote in 2016. His current approval rating is around 45%. And as the New Yorker reminds us today, the day before the 2016 election, just 37.5% of American voters, according to Real Clear Politics poll average, had a favorable opinion of Trump. So either the polls were wrong or a lot of people voted for Trump despite not liking him." Other factors Piers Morgan takes into consideration to justify why we should ignore the polls are, as he writes in the Daily Mail, quote, "His campaign has already raised nearly $100 million, including the $24 million that came in the day after his re-election announcement this week in Orlando. In 2016, Trump funded his campaign largely with his own money. Now the president has support from major Republican donors. He is delivering on his campaign promises, something unheard of in politics. He's already named 2 conservatives to the Supreme Court and is ready with a pre-approved list from the Federalist Society in the event another opportunity presents itself. And he's taken tough positions on China, Iran, and immigration." Meanwhile, the Democrats, as he puts it, are all over the place, choosing from between 20-plus candidates who've already announced, leaving many Democrats unsure whether to go for the experience of former U.S. Senator and Vice President Joe Biden or go for the youthfulness of Mayor Pete or Beto O'Rourke. Meanwhile, avowed socialist Bernie Sanders continues to run a strong campaign, popular among the youth, as Senator Elizabeth Warren's campaign experiences a resurgence. Piers Morgan isn't the only commentator urging caution for the Democrats, lest they repeat 2016 with another upset victory by now President Trump. Adelman notes that Michael Massing, a featured writer who's appeared in the New York Times, New Yorker, Politico, and The Atlantic, and Victor Davis Hanson, a political commentator and historian at the Hoover Institute at Stanford University, both of which, despite the polls, see a path for a Trump 2020 victory, in part due to the Democrats further alienating evangelicals away and towards President Trump, and by the Democrats' embracing of radical socialist positions outside of the mainstream. Looking at what these other experts are saying, Adelman concludes, quote, "If these experienced political seers are correct, President Donald Trump will continue to serve the country as president through 2024. Will the polls be proven wrong yet again as President Trump campaigns to keep America great? Stay tuned and continue to follow our coverage of the 2020 election and other TNA top headlines at thenewamerican.com. Also, be sure to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.